What up, dudes? It's a Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So, we released that dev stream video yesterday showing Nezha Prime and all the stuff that they've got planned for this year, apparently. After that video went out, they actually did release the weapons that will be primed afterwards, and it's going to kickstart a bunch of videos on the channel going forward discussing the current meta of Warframe, why it exists, and how the devs can make it better. Because, you know what? We could just complain about the fact that they want to nerf a bunch of stuff, or we could help them actually do things properly around here. So that's what I think the angle we're going to go at is going to be. Here is why this is good. Here's how you could make other things good, because this is what's fun about it, etc., etc. So keep an eye out on videos like that on the channel in the next week or two. Okay, but this is going to be about Mastery Rank 30, which will be available at the end of the month if the math checks out properly, and the weapons that will be coming with Nezha Prime Access, because we have that information now. Alright, so let's start off with it. So, brace yourself for the weapons. Here they are. And we're going to talk about why they are not going to, potentially not going to be very good. So we have Nezha Prime Access coming October 27th. Something you want to keep in mind is that DE also said the Glassmaker Greatsword, End of Glassmaker weapon, will be at the end of October as well. So we've got Nezha Prime. Looks pretty cool. We've got the Guandao Prime and the Zocti Prime. These are now confirmed by DE to be the Prime weapons with Nezha. So, the Guandao Prime is going to be a polearm / focused, and we'll look at the current stats to hopefully see what they'll buff with the Guandao Prime. Let's read the description. Guandao Prime engineered for the Divine to reap a harvesting of lives. Pretty metal. The Zocti Prime. Unleash waves of gas damage with a smattering of spiny toxin-filled fletches. So that basically sounds, those descriptions don't make it sound like there's any special gimmicks with them. And then now they've changed the booster to not be a credit booster from the Nezha Prime Access. It will be now a resource booster, which is a good change because 90-day credit booster was like not really necessary at all. I'd rather take a resource booster any day out of the week. So, alright, that is the weapons. Now let's talk about the weapons in-game that we currently have for them. And we'll talk about MR30. Because DE said they're going to make MR30 available for non-founders for like a couple weeks or something like that. But we'll see if that actually is the case. So let's look at the Guandao. Alright, so this is going to be a relatively low master. This is Master Rank 4. And the stats are very heavily crit focused. We've got 28% crit chance, 2.2 multiplier, low attack speed, 3 meter range. I don't see them really making that range higher. And we've got 4% status chance. So it seems pretty obvious here that they would have to increase the status chance a bunch for the Prime version. They're going to most likely make it a lot higher Mastery rank. And the damage is all pretty much slash. That will be good. Don't change that, please. But we'll see what kind of nerfs they have at the end of the year for slash. They can also increase the base attack speed. That would be really nice. This thing is very slow at base. I think the crit chance and the critical multiplier, maybe slightly bump them up. I'd say just make it a straight upgrade. Don't make it a side grade to the Guandao. Rather, the Guandao Prime is only MR4, so there's no way they don't upgrade this in some way. So, yeah, more status chance, make it around 16, 20% status chance, and then make it 30-something% crit chance, and maybe bump up the crit multiplier, and then that would be really, really amazing. Maybe don't even increase attack speed, but increase the base stats really, make it the Pangolin Prime of polearms. And yeah, something to keep in mind as well for these new Prime weapons, they're going to have really low Riven stats. So unlike basically the exact opposite of the Guandao, we have the Zocti, and this thing has 2% crit chance and 1.5 multiplier. So it's not crit viable at all. In the video, we're talking about the meta of the game currently in the next couple of days. Yeah, even with a bunch of crit buffs, this thing still, it's got 2% at base. So yeah. 3-round magazine with a 0.8 second reload, so you are going to be reloading this thing a bunch. It's only got 3-round magazine. This thing also has an AoE explosion when you fire the darts out of it, which, I mean, it staggers you, unfortunately. 20% status chance, so pretty decent status chance, but no crit chance to speak of. There's an impact of the quills, which is new impact and puncture damage. It also has guaranteed impact procs on impact with this thing, and then the darts explode in a gas damage in an area. Alright, so that's the two weapons. I'd say to buff the Zocti and make it better. Maybe give it a little bit of crit chance, make it make it hybrid viable, and then maybe make it have faster reload. This weapon also has terrible recoil, so maybe reduce the recoil as well. So like I said, we will be having low Riven stats, this thing currently has 4 dot dispo. It will go down to 1 dot. So a Riven like this will most likely get stats cut in half, if not even more. So you will not have a minus 100% impact Riven anymore. The stat chance will probably be like around like 50, if that. And it will, this Riven that looks really good right now will most likely not even be worth slotting. Well, we'll see. Alright, and then for the Guandao, it's going to be the similar situation where it's going to be, I don't know what the Guandao's crit stats, or not crit stats, Riven stats are right now. It's got 3, so these stats will be cut in half as well. So, yeah, okay, so now let's talk about MR30. So we're going to get, if you didn't know this, the primes give, or rather, the frames give you 6,000 mastery points. Well, that looks really glitched out, that new graphics engine. So 6,000 mastery per frame, and then 3,000 mastery per weapon. So that would be, from just Nezha Prime Access, that's 12,000 mastery. With someone that has everything in the game mastered, including all Railjack intrinsics currently available, and all K-drives, I need 15,000 more mastery to hit MR30. So that would mean Nezha Prime Access, which comes out on October 27th, and then the Glassmaker Sword, which will give me 3,000 more mastery. I will be at Master Rank 30. So are founders actually going to get it earlier than us? Like, people, I'm not a founder. I don't have Excalibur Prime. I don't have Leto Prime, any of that kind of stuff. So I don't understand, like, weren't they supposed to get it before we are? The way that these updates are lining up, it sounds like it's going to be people who are not founders get MR30 at the same time as founders. So if you didn't see the video from yesterday, here's some of the things that Master Rank 30 players will get. We don't actually know what Legendary ranks is. I'm guessing it's just going to be like Prestige rank or something useless like that. But you're basically going to be able to give people in a relay a booster. Going to have some like custom cosmetics and some Umbra Forma, loadout slots, Riven slots, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it seems like that the normies will get the MR30 if they grinded everything out in the game at the same time as the founders. Unless DE just is going to hold back the Glassmaker Sword because they didn't realize that people are going to get it at the same time and founders won't be special. So, like I said, they most likely will release these updates right next to each other. But the thing is, Grandmaster founders who bought the big access thing, they're one weapon away. And if the Glassmaker Sword comes out like a couple weeks before Nezha Prime Access comes out on the 27th, or whatever, that's only like 2.5 weeks away. So they need to release the Glassmaker Sword next week for the founders to have like a week and a half of being MR30 before other people, if they even care about that. So yeah, here's my suggestion to you: don't go for MR30 right away. To get MR30, currently you need to level up K-drives. You need to do the entire steel path. You need to level up a Necromech, which I don't like doing that. And you need to do all this garbage that is just not really worth it. Also amps and all that. Arcwing Melee, that's probably the worst one of the bunch. I'd say don't go for it right away. Wait until that Deimos Arcana update comes out. They're going to add like 3 or 4 new weapons. They're going to make Necromech's going to level 40. There's going to be a new Necromech. There will be a bunch of mastery fodder in that update. That will mean you don't need to level up K-drives, most likely. Won't need to level up a bunch of this stupid stuff you don't want to level up. So that's my recommendation to you. Don't rush MR30 unless you're a content creator or something like that, or you just really want to. Don't let me saying don't rush it and like dissuade you. But I'm just saying like it's really not going to be worth it to like push it to day one unless you just really, really need to. That's it for the video, guys. Like I said, there'll be videos discussing the meta of Warframe and how they can possibly make things more fun while also nerfing stuff and buffing stuff in the next couple of days. So keep an eye on that one, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.